other. But I think also, like, Dean has protected Sam for so much of their life. In this minute, like, in this moment where Sam doesn't kill the demon, even though he has a clean shot, because it would save John, and John looks at him with that same look, I went, even though they've been together since then, basically Sam has never been in a position where Dean wasn't protecting him from John. In this moment, Dean is laying on the floor, barely conscious, and John is absolutely disgusted and enraged with Sam's choice, and there is no one to protect Sam from John's rage, and Sam is getting the full force of it, possibly for the first time. And you can see in his face that he's afraid of John, even though John is laying on the ground bleeding. Yeah. Next scene, Dean's in the back of the car. Sam is driving them to the nearest hospital because John just got shot and Dean is, like, bleeding out over there.
Yes, that's kind of important to consider.
John is giving Sam a total dressing down about how killing the demon comes before everything, and he's like, no sir, and he's pleading his case. Like, he goes from, like, I'm not gonna, like, let Dean die, to, hey, I didn't totally fuck this up, we still have the Colt and we still have 1 bullet left.
Yeah, come on, John.
They did have 3 bullets this morning, so it hasn't been a loss, but and, like, sure, they don't know where the demon went, but, like, we found it one time, we can definitely find it again, and then bam, they get T-boned by a demon driving a semi-truck. I think they should have gone with a slightly smaller truck.
True.
And come back for season 2, everyone.
Yeah, because all of the Winchesters are bleeding and unconscious, and the season just ends there.
Oh dear.
Excellent cliffhanger.
Did we see that the truck driver was possessed?
Yes, yeah, we did. We see black eyes, Bad Moon Rising is playing, unless you're on Prime, and everybody's bleeding and unconscious. It's a good time.
That's unfortunate.
And then it's tune in into season 2. Excellent way to get people to tune back into season 2, I think. Like, everybody's life is in the balance.
Very true.
All this unfinished business, everyone's dying. It's great.
So that brings us to some of our weekly segments and panels, where KJ updates the stats on some things that we like to keep track of, and we weigh in on a few things. They're really exciting this week, because even though next week we're going to have a season 1, like, reflection, these are some of the final numbers. For example, death count. This week we saw 2 deaths. We had Meg and the other demon, and basically the people they were possessing. And that brings our on-screen total to 147.
Wow.
And the on and off screen total for this episode was, I believe, also just those 2. I don't know if anybody had any other deaths that they saw that I didn't know about.
I didn't notice any others.
Yeah, I didn't either. So I think that brings our on and off screen total to 924 plus. We're gonna hit 1,000 pretty early, I think, in season 2. And we also try to assign an MVP of the week. Let's see who everybody wants to nominate as this week's most valuable person. Let's start with Meredith.
Okay. Well, I think, I don't know, a lot of the characters did a lot of stuff this week, but I kind of want to go with Sam because he wouldn't kill John.
That's good, yeah. He was the last Winchester standing. Until he wasn't, but
he was the only one that was capable of driving at the end.
Yeah. How about you, Moira?
I'm gonna say Dean, basically because he was the reason that Sam did all the other things.
Yeah.
And kept Sam from being completely going over the edge, and that was really important.
Yeah, it was it was a challenge this week. And Francis.
I'm gonna have to say Bobby, just
for...
Bobby!
Yes.
Yeah.
I was hoping someone would mention him.
Yeah, well, he educated the Winchester boys this episode and gave Sam the Key of Solomon and was able to draw that devil's trap, so I think he was very MVP-ish this week.
Excellent nomination. I love Bobby with so much of my heart.
Me too.
I'm also gonna nominate Dean, because he got them out of the apartment building scenario, and he kept Sam together during the Azazel confrontation, and allowed Sam to get them out of there. Tune in next week for a breakdown on the MVPs. Did we have 2 named women in this episode?
We had Meg.
We had Meg. I don't think there was any other women that had a name. So that's a no. And we honestly don't even know if the demon that's in Meg is a female or not. Like, they seem to prefer a female vessel, but we don't know that for sure.
I mean, I think she seems to want female pronouns, so
we'll
go with that.
She has a feminine energy.
Yeah.
There we go. We'll call her a girl.
Did anybody have any research that they wanted to bring to the table this week?
Nope.
I didn't have anything. We've
Sadly.
been dealing with demons quite a bit recently. And we didn't have any other plot.
Yeah, I didn't really have time for a lot of research, but I kind of looked up about the Key of Solomon a little.
Oh, excellent! Meredith was
good.
just saying before you came on that she wished that
Yeah.
she'd had time for that.
Alright, so the Key of Solomon, I don't know if it was made up for Supernatural, but in reality it's the Seal of Solomon. So it's a Hebrew and Arabic signet ring that's attributed to the King of Solomon in medieval mystical traditions. So he developed it to it kind of looks like the Star of David, so it's a predecessor to it, which was a symbol of the Jewish people in modern times. And the Seal of Solomon looks a little bit different than the Key of Solomon. So it is a round circle with the pentagram inside of it, but it has nothing else except for these little dots around it.
Yeah, this is a little bit fancier.
Yeah, it looks a little different, but it's pretty much, it has the same uses pretty much. It says that the ring variously gave Solomon the power to command demons, jinn, spirits, or to speak with animals. So kind of similar, but it does have to deal with demons in reality, so that I thought that was a cool connection there, that they actually did something right.
Wow, that is fascinating. Solomon's a really interesting biblical figure, honestly.
Yeah,
he
don't
really
know much
is.
about it, so...
If you don't mind, like, a little tangent.
Yeah, I don't mind. We've got time.
What I was taught, I understand that, like, he's a figure that's present in, like, all Abrahamic religions, so we're gonna have different versions of him, but what I was taught was that he came to the throne at a very young age, and he was kind of nervous, and God asked him, like, what he wanted, and he asked for wisdom.
Is Solomon the guy that was like, I'll cut this baby in half if you can't make him
Yeah,
alive?
actually, that's a great story. Yeah,
That's
so
one of the best.
These two women sharing a household, they both had a baby. One baby died in the night, so the mother of that baby kidnapped the other woman's baby. And obviously, the other woman wasn't too happy about this, so they went before the king. And so he already had, like, the wisdom of God at this point, and so he was just like, so, I have an idea. We'll cut the baby in half. You can each have one half. And then, like, the woman whose baby died was like, yeah, okay. And obviously the real mother was like, what are you doing?
I will give up my child. Don't cut them in half.
Exactly. I just want to talk about, like, the psychology here. What was wrong with this other woman? Which is like, yeah, we're definitely gonna cut this child in half.
Hormones do crazy things to us.
They do.
I guess she was grieving.
Yeah. That's such a famous story that I knew it off the top of my head. So there you go.
Awesome. Yeah, but anyway, Solomon's cool.
Did anyone else have anything they wanted to add? I don't want to rush anybody. How many times do you think I've said that? I don't want to rush anybody through the end of that segment.
There is a cool tidbit about the Seal of Solomon that I have.
I would love that.
Yeah. So the hexagram inside of the seal is seen as a combination of the four elements, fire, air, earth, and water.
Okay.
So the fire is, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So the fire is symbolized as an upwards pointing triangle, while air is also the upwards pointing triangle, but with the horizontal line through the center. Water is symbolized as a downwards pointing triangle, while earth is downwards pointing triangle with a horizontal line through the center. So it's both the triangles going up and down, but earth and air has the line going through. So I thought that was a pretty cool little tidbit
very cool.
about that. Yeah.
I love this.
Let's go to lowlight and highlight. Let's start with Francis.
Alright, so my highlight was near the end when Sam was given the choice to either, shoot John to kill or to shoot him to just maim and injure. And he chose to just shoot him in the leg. And that, like you said earlier, that it showed that even though he is John 2.0 in a lot of senses, he's still himself. He's still Sam Winchester, and he knows right from wrong, and he knows that killing his family is not the way to go, no matter what kind of scenario they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you actually took some of Dean's earlier words to heart.
Yeah. And then my low light is when Dean knew that John was possessed because John hadn't yelled at him for using a bullet in the Colt.
Yeah.
It just kind of showed the bad father John side again.
Yeah, John Winchester sucks.
He does.
Moira, how about you?
My highlight was Bobby's introduction, and just him being a part of the show now was
Bobby!
great.
Yay, Bobby.
And my lowlight was that there's no more Meg anymore. Like, the actress Nicki Aycox, I really like her as Meg, so I'm sad that she's done.
Yeah.
She's gone now.
Same.
And Meredith.
Oh man, my highlight is also when John gets shot in the leg, but it's for different reasons. So there's like this whole trope on TV and stories in general where, like, I don't know, you'd have to tie up the criminal because you don't want them running away, and the whole time I'm just like yelling at them, just shoot them in the leg so they can't walk. So they actually did that here, which I appreciate.
Yeah, Sam was just like, I won't shoot you in the head, but I'm still gonna shoot you.
Yeah.
Like, instead of like, oh no, we have to leave an expendable character here to guard you, it's just like, no, you just can't walk. Anyway, but my low light was Meg's death, because, oh gosh, it was so hard to watch. She was just, oh man, I feel so bad for her.
My low light was Meg killing Bobby's dog.
True.
Rumsfeld didn't deserve that.
No, he's just a puppy.
I mean, I can't see Bobby having much time in, like, season 4 to look after a dog, so...
True.
But I was sad that his dog got killed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my highlight is the scene where Dean's like, "You're not my dad," because Dean says, like, "I know my dad better than anybody," and that includes the awful parts of John. And I like when the boys are aware of how shitty John is.
Yeah.
It annoys me when they're not aware, when they choose not to be aware.
When they're just like, he was just doing the best he could.
Call CPS, which is a new segment where an adult should be calling CPS, usually on John. Any call CPS moments this week?
How about Dean realizing that the demon wasn't his dad because he was being nice to him?
That counts.
Literally.
Yeah.
I am ready to call CPS on John again for just looking at Sam with the face that he used to look at Dean in Something Wicked. I got mad about how he looked at Dean in that episode all over again, and about that abuse.
Good.
And yeah, also the way that Dean knew that Dad wasn't Dad, because Dad wasn't actively abusing him. Unfortunately, Dean is an adult now. There were no other adults around to interject. That's unfortunate. But also, I'm sorry, but a little bit Bobby.
Yeah.
Past Bobby. Bobby literally threatened to shoot John, was about to do it. He should never have let John drive away with the kids.
Very true.
No.
He should have shot John. And short of that, he should have kept John's kids away from him.
Yeah. We love Bobby, by the way, but yeah.
Love Bobby.
He has flaws.
Like pretty much every hunter who knew John back in the day and like was like, this guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
Should have kept the kids from him. Should have taken the kids and just gone.
Yeah.
But we love Bobby, so that's not Bobby slander. That's just everybody who knew John back in the day failed these kids.
Very much so.
Yeah. Bobby failed them a little less, but he failed them in this way.
Yes. Mental health check. I am not a psychologist. This segment is based purely on my own opinions, and weekly reminder that if you're struggling with anything at all, please reach out for help. This week was all kinds of concerning regarding mental health. I don't know if anyone else wants to just start or what.
Where do we start?
Honestly.
John and Sam were full-on suicidal to kill this demon at various points. Dean Winchester should never be the most mentally okay person in the room. Anytime Dean Winchester is the one being like, y'all need to, like, get it together, that's bad news. You are in trouble.
Very true.
Because everyone else is just a new level of not okay.
The demon laid into both of the boys really hard. Pushed all of their buttons. Really upsetting. John, like, literally yelled at Sam because Sam didn't kill him. Like, John is so ready to go out killing this demon. More than I feel like I remember. And I don't really feel bad for him because I hate John so much. But, like, considering how willing the boys are to sacrifice themselves at any given time, like, no wonder they are. Like, this is what they were living with for, like, 17 to 20 years. Like,
look what you did, John.
Like, no wonder that's the default plan that they all come up with is I will save everybody by dying.
Everybody wins. Wait, what?
And I'm so sad that the demon was like, you were gonna marry Jess, and poor Sam. I was sad all over again.
Yeah.
And like, what a horrible thing for John to put on Sam to be like, you should have killed me. Like, that's a lot. Like, that was a heavy decision for Sam to make in like 3 seconds, and like to have that weigh on him now for like ever. That's real bad. I don't like it. No one's doing okay. Dean also wasn't doing great, I have to say. Like, he was just doing better. He was like, I want to survive and I want both of you ability to survive, but like barely. At the point where Azazel was like torturing them both, I don't think he was really thinking too much about surviving. I think he was more like, I'm just gonna stall for as long as I can. On to soul transactions, there was none. And then to finish off this week's episode, we have line of the week. So let's start with Moira.
It's the "he wouldn't be proud of me, he'd tear me a new one" from